Alrighty. Wait till we see some. There we go. We got some video there. I'm just gonna check to make sure the link works. Let's give it a try. Where's the link? Oh, there it is. Tune in now. Oh, and what do you know? It works. Great. Here we go. Coolio. Minimize that. Actually, we'll just close it. Alrighty. So, got a brand new Unity scene here, and today the goal is to get the movement that I have in the previous version of this project, get it into, we're using a new Unity version here, and get it into this scene, and we're gonna modernize it, decouple it as much as we can so that it's a little bit more easy to work with when we're adding features and stuff. So basically we've just got a sandbox, basic sandbox scene. I've got this special grid floor shader that I've made for a previous project, and I've set the background to just be a dark gray black-ish color, just so that we got something a little bit more visually pleasing to look at than the default Unity skybox. Yeah, so I guess I'll just jump in here. It's literally just a basic scene with this ground plane, a cube for scale, got a 1 meter cube, and I've got the XR origin in here. I'm actually gonna go ahead right away and get rid of the, what do we got? Input, we got tracking. I'm gonna get rid of the input because we're not gonna be using any of these input actions. I'm gonna get rid of the ray interactor because I don't really want to use it. I'm gonna get rid of the line renderer and the XR line visual, and we'll do the same on the other controller. Gonna get rid of, so we got rid of that. XR, ray interactor, line renderer, XR line renderer visual. So I'm just gonna double check. I'm just gonna place some visual indicators here. So we're gonna take a sphere. We're going to make it very small. Nope, let's make it. Yeah, let's make it a centimeter. That's a good idea. Why did this disappear? Okay, there we are. 0.01. Let's copy that, paste it. I don't know why that didn't work there. It was probably because it was 0. All right, so we got that little dot. We're gonna go to, I've also set up a structure here for the project, which I'm excited about. What's this? I need to move this into external. What is this? Stuff, loader settings, XR general build target. Interesting. We're gonna go to art, dev materials. We're gonna grab, I want dev white on this sphere. Okay. Come here. Where's dev white? Dev white on that. And we'll just say it's a, just call it visual. Copy and paste it over to the right controller. And I'm just gonna check to make sure that that works. Right, got two little dots here. Cube for scale, and our expansive void with a grid looks good to me. Cool, I'm actually gonna make those a little bit bigger though. Let's maybe 0.05. No, 0.02. Okay, cool. I do actually want them to be... No, we won't bother with that. Okay. Let's work on some movement here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab from my old project here. Where's my scripts? Dev tools. Oh, we might need those dev tools. Oh, offset calculation. I don't want to deal with that right now. Okay, so we got the player script, which looks like that. We're gonna be copying and pasting this stuff in manually because I'm gonna want to change how it works. XR character controller. That's the other one I want. Okay. Unity Google VR. Why are we using a whole bunch of stuff? All right, let's go to scripts, and we're gonna create a script or a folder called player. I'm also gonna rename our XR origin to player with a lowercase l, preferably. Player. And then we're going to create the script called XR character controller. And we're going to create a general player controller. So the idea is that this character controller is just basically going to be taking care of the actual movement and the physics around the player. We will have, actually I'm gonna rename this to player movement. I'm gonna get this open, and then the movement will actually take the inputs and use the XR character controller. That way that I can specialize the player movement class. I need to edit these templates so it doesn't do this stuff, because we're not going to be using it, most of it. And those, we never use those. So basically the player movement then is going to be customizable, and that way we can reuse that XR character controller in later projects. The reason why I'm renaming it here using like the control RR rename is because it changes the file name as well, which is very handy. So let's get ourselves back into, let's look at this. So how did I do this before? Did I use, this is XR character controller. So what did I use before? So input was on the controller, and the player, what did the player have? It had other stuff. So we're not gonna worry about that. But so we have character controller. So we used the character controller before. I'd like to try and use an actual collider this time. Just because it's gonna make some stuff easier when it comes to jumping, and when it comes to climbing, I may be able to like add some inertia so you can like throw yourself. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, we got and then we got the XR origin. Why do we need the XR origin as an XR origin object reference? I don't know. Anyways, let's get started. So we have player movement. We're also going to have XR character controller. We're going to start with this one first. I am actually also going to import our game. I want the game loader. Maybe I'll do that later. I'll do that off camera. All right. So first thing, we're going to need to get ourselves, let's just require component. Require component type of, it's going to require a rigid body. Let me zoom in here. So we're going to require component rigid body. We're going to require a component, say it's a capsule collider. Might change to I don't think we will change to a box collider. We'll just keep it as a capsule collider. And then basically what this will do is it'll make it so that when we add this script, it'll automatically add these as well. And then we're going to get those. So on public void or private void awake, we're going to store these. So let's get components. And these are going to be the rigid body. And let's grab the capsule collider as well. And we're going to say rigid body equals get component rigid body and capsule collider. Get component capsule collider. I'm not going to error check these because I've got this required component up here. If I didn't have the required component, I would error check these, make sure that they're not null. Give myself a little debug.log. All right, and then that should be good. So we have those. Let's actually just add this script so that we can start looking at what's next here. So we got our player. Player should be, yeah. We've got the input action manager here. I'm actually gonna move this guy. I don't want it on the player. Oops, did I press edit? I want edit. Let's remove. We're gonna put that in the manager section. We're gonna call it, create a new empty object, input action manager. Add the input action manager. We're going to at first just grab the one from the interaction toolkit, starter access, default input actions. Yoink that in there. That should be fine. We're not doing, I haven't got my own input yet. All right, so player, we're gonna add the XR character controller. See, that automatically adds the rigid body and the capsule collider, which is great. So let's take a look here. Where's the player? I want this to be on pivot point. There we go. So that I can see exactly where things are. And let's take a look at our collider here. So this is actually, you know what? We're not gonna require a component on the capsule collider because I'm gonna move the capsule collider to, unless, do I want to adjust it? Yeah, I'm gonna put the capsule collider on the I'm gonna put this on the camera. So we're gonna remove component. It's gonna tell me that I can't because it's in the script. So we're gonna go up here. We're going to go, we don't need to edit that. Go up here. We're gonna get rid of that. But we are going to create a new script. Go to scripts, player, create. C# script. Body collider controller. So we're going to control the body from here, paste in the requirement of the capsule collider. We're going to get the capsule collider, and then in void awake, we'll go get that. This, I want to have the underscore in front of it because it's private. There we go, and then we can adjust the position of that as we see fit. We're gonna go up here, go to main camera, body collider controller. So it's gonna go in here. And then we can look at that. And we'll set that in our script here on start. Actually, we'll create a set collider, which we'll call on start, but we'll also call it on update or fix update. So. Private void, let's call it update. Update. Update a collider. So the collider is basically, so we need to base it off of the height of the player. So the height is going to be, just for now, I'm gonna say capsule collider dot where's the, I guess it would be bounds. The bounds is like a box, right? So we need height, yeah. Height is going to be equal to the, so we're on the camera, so we're going to get transform dot local position dot y. So we're going to base it, basically the height is going to be how high up off of the floor our player is. And then the position should stay with the camera. So on we're going to start that's when we're going to update collider. Then we're going to grab fixed update, and then we're going to say update collider. All right, so that's going to change the height of our collider. Now, I believe yeah, so the center. Okay, so there's a couple other things we got to do. We got to subtract. So we have to subtract the radius multiplied by 2. Capsule collider dot radius times 2, because we've got the top and the bottom of the spherical part of the capsule collider. Which is cool. And then we're gonna need to set the center position. How does the center position work? Is camera offset the one that gets? We might need to grab this one. We'll test it out though. main camera, capsule collider, center. Yeah, so it's the center Y that's going to be our. So we're going to say capsule collider dot center dot Y. Are we going to be? We're not going to be allowed to assign that, are we? It's going to be equal to vector 3 dot up times it's going to be the radius plus half of the height. And it's going to be negative up, which actually, let's say down. What's wrong here? That needs to be multiplied there. There we go. All right, so that, in theory, if we have the correct height adjustment, we should be able to do that. Hopefully, yeah. Let's see if the player's head does move. If I press play here, what happens? What is the camera offset? So there is like a fixed. This is fixed. Whatever this is. So I feel like I need to get rid of that. Yeah, we're gonna fall through the world because the world doesn't have, oh, it does have a mesh collider, we're good. But we're already clipped through. So we will just make the player be slightly up. Let's take a gander at this. I don't like that. It's very roly-poly. Let's grab. Okay, so not quite what we want. It's actually not going to be radius times 2, it's going to be radius. And then the center is going to be half the radius, I think. give that a try. I see. So we're rotating. We don't want this. We don't want this at all. So we're going to remove that. That script entirely, and we're going to do it on the character controller. That was on the camera. Rid of that, remove component, remove component. There we go. All right, so on the XR character controller, we are going to get a serialized field. Let's do a header references. We're gonna serialize field transform camera. We're going to now update collider. Update collider. So do I have something? Do I have it in here? I might actually have it in here. Move, climb move, fall dampers, move input, turn input, jump controller update. Gravity enabled. So I'm player. Get is climbing, assign weapon, assign gadget. Set is grappling, climb left, climb right, weapon mode, gadget right. Gadget left, eject. Was I even updating that? I must have been updating the collider somehow. Whatever. Update collider. We will need capsule collider. Capsule collider dot height is going to be equal to transform dot position dot y. The camera transform dot position dot y. Oh, we're already on the camera is a transform. Camera dot position dot y, and then minus transform dot position dot y. Does height include? I'm guessing height should not include. Yeah, so the height actually includes the sphere. That's actually quite nice. Thank you very much, Unity. Transform position Y. and then its offset is going to be the capsule collider height. Apply double to vector 3. Needs the F. Interesting. Let's put up at the beginning here. It's just my preference. All right. So that should be working. Let's double check. Didn't assign the All right, that looks good. I do actually want to add the radius. So plus collider radius, and then times capsule. That's going to be a plus capsule collider. That actually should take care of it. Cool, so that works. But we will need to want the collider to follow the player's position as well. So the center. Okay. Let's separate this out. I'm going to separate this out so we can comment on it. So this is going to be set height of center point. We're going to set X the XZ position. So center is going to be the camera. We're going to say vector2 dot. So actually, we'll set the x first. Equal camera position x, and that's going to be do we want? Yeah, we want it in that direction. And this is also going to be x. I don't need that comment. Let's get rid of this. This should be pretty obvious what's going on here. So now it should move around with the player. Let's go check that out. It is not moving. The X is moving. Did I miss something? There we go. Cool. Well, following the player's position. All right. So what's next? We've got the we got the character controller, and we've got the player. Let's make some movement controls. So I'm going to put my movement controls under. Engine? Yeah, controls, create a new input actions, main input, create gameplay, and then we're going to create a vector2 value, vector2 is going to be move. Move is going to take the XR controller. You gonna work? Optional controls, or no, we're gonna do, move is gonna be left hand, optional controls, the thumbstick. Cool. That should work. We're gonna go add, yeah, we're gonna save that. We're gonna add that to our interaction manager. Perfect. So we're going to create a move function here. How about we call it what I want to call it, please? Thank you. And what that's going to do is we're going to set a. We're going to input the axis, which should be 0 to 1 in any given direction. We're going to grab. We have the rigid body, right? Yeah, we're going to have the rigid body, and we're going to set. So we're gonna set. We're gonna need a. Actually, no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do amount, and we're gonna put the Actually, we're going to call velocity. Let's go move. It is going to be move. Move with a certain velocity, and that velocity is going to transfer into the rigid body. Velocity equals velocity. Time. Actually, that should be, yeah, that should be fine. We don't need to delta time that. And now in our player movement script, player movement is going to have our XR character controller, call it car controller, underscore. And we're going to require that component. No, XR character controller on awake. We're going to get that character controller. And I'm going to create a move. A private variable move axis equals vector 2.0, and then on update, that's actually going to be on fixed. Update, we're going to pull that move from the inputs, which we're going to serialize up top. Inputs. Serialize fields. Input action reference. It's going to be the move input. And then move input dot action dot read value vector 2. If move axis dot square magnitude should be greater than 0, so that means we're moving. Then we'll call character controller move axis times, let's get a header. Parameters. Serialize field, float, move speed, say it's equal to 3 meters per second. Pardon my C++ dottage on the float. Move speed. We're going to call this move velocity just to make it see if that works. Check the player. Check the player here. Start of origin. Player movement. Move speed 3. We'll grab our main input move and drag it in there. Oh. So that's funny. We're using X and Y, so we're going up and down. So let's check this out here. Repeat the definition as vector 3 velocity dot x 0.f 0f, or I guess rigid body dot velocity dot y, and then the velocity dot z, or sorry, that's gonna be velocity dot y. Let's tidy that up and try that again. Spinny, spinny. Don't like that. So we want. Do we want to be? Actually, we don't want the collider to spin, so we will constrain that as well. But we are moving, which is good. We have a move speed parameter, and I am gonna go to the washroom, so I will be back in a sec here. All right, we are back, I believe. Yes, we are back. Okay, so we are now moving. Let's do some jumping. So the XR character controller will handle the actual jump itself. Any like double jumping, extra stuff, that'll be done within the player movement script. So let's jump back in here, go to our XR character controller. We're gonna need a public set jump velocity, float velocity. All right. And then that is going to we don't need to clear the X and Y velocity, but we will just need to set this. So this will be basically the opposite of what we had before. So rigid body dot velocity dot X, comma, velocity, and then rigid body dot velocity dot Z, or Z if you so desire. Don't need to, no, I don't need to reset any vertical velocity or any other velocities there. Okay, so now we're gonna get a jump input. Serialize field, put action reference, jump in. We're gonna create a input events section. Do a system. Unity events, and we're gonna have input events. That way we have little chapters here. On jump input. Input action, callback context, and that is then going to, if jump, create a Boolean, can jump, it's gonna be true. This on land is going to be important for resetting this can jump function, and we're basically going to subscribe it to another event on the character controller. So on can jump is going to be equal to true. All right. Can jump. So yeah, if, or actually we're gonna negate this. Just return. And so if we can jump, we will call character controller dot we're gonna call jump on fixed update, because that may not be on fixed update. We're going to actually let's look at the execution order when that happens. The execution. No, it's not the. Here it is. Fixed update gets called. It gets called before. Yeah. Oh no, that's collision. Where's the input? State machine, process graph, animation. On trigger on mouse. Let's see what happens when we do it here. I mean, it won't be too bad. Let's go actually. Call jump. Jump is then going to character controller. Dot jump. Set jump velocity to try that. Get rid of good old Unity Engine visual scripting because I'm not going to use it. Jump velocity. Might do a variable jump. We'll see. I'm just going to get this working though first. So we need a jump input. Is going to be, yes, a button. And button is going to be XR controller. It's going to be the right hand. The new Unity input system has issues with some of the clicking on the menus. They have changed all of these to be a little bit more readable. Oh wait, no, they've just gotten rid of some stuff. Okay, usage ready, print ready, pointer, active, ready, primary to be primary action, primary button. It'd be nice if they just called it A. Let's look at this. Oculus AX is primary button. Okay. Primary button on the right hand. Save that. Go back to our player. The player jump script. Let's give that a try. We didn't subscribe to the event. And we don't have a ground check, so we're only gonna be able to jump once. Oh no, I'm not setting can jump to false at all, so we should be able to jump as much as we want actually. So now on awake, we are going to dot action dot performed plus equals on jump input. Copy that. Go down here to on destroy, paste, and unsubscribe. Now that should work. Oh yeah. All right, that's fun. A bit high though. I'm gonna set the default lower as well. We are sort of falling off a bit there. But let's fix that with a ground collider. So on player, we create a child called ground check. We're gonna create a script for that. So we're gonna use a box collider here because I don't want to be sliding off of things, and this is sort of gonna replace part of just the bottom part of the collider. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but we're just gonna try it anyway. This is gonna be different from what we did previously. How did I move previously? Did I move just on update? Player. Oh, move was in the XR controller. Move input. Okay, move input was called on this. Move vector, okay. So we signed the move vector. Move vector was then called on move, which is called on or we call move on the character controller. Right. Anyways, let's just start with this. Collider, awake, collider, box collider. Actually, we don't even need that. On enter, this is going to be public. We're going to put this up here. Public delegate. You don't know what a delegate is. It's just like a type of event, basically, that you can call. It's going to be ground. On land event. Let's call it ground event. Delegate. This is going to be void ground event. Void. We can just leave it empty. Okay. And so we're going to have a public ground event on land, which that can be subscribed to on land nullable.invoke. So basically, no, we don't need to get the component, but we need to subscribe now to on land. On land, we will get we will actually have a public event land. So we're going to create a okay, so we're subscribing and unsubscribing from that. Then on our player here, have private oh, I already created it. That's why. So and then here we're gonna say do that over here as well. If ground check does not equal null. Oh, I should, sorry, that goes here. Ground check. If ground check is null, we're gonna throw an error here. So on XR character controller. Good, good, good. And equals true. Can jump equals false. That all should be good. Let's add a little box collider here. This is under player. Let's call our, let's get our ground check, box collider. It's going to be 1 by 1. Y is going to be 0.1, 0.05, let's say. We're going to add a layer called ground check. We're going to have player. Let's actually make this player and this ground check. Ground check is going to be on the ground check layer. The player is going to be on the player layer. Sure, we'll change the children. Go to our project settings, physics. We're going to deselect ground check with player and player with player. Should be good. Back to the scene, we go back to our ground check and 0.025. Should make it so that this is above the ground versus, yeah. So we got those visuals. Let's go check that. Because we don't have a ground check. Ground check was no. Let's go grab our let's actually stick this in here. So we're not re-jumping, which is not great. Let's do that. See if that helps. Okay, so we're not grounding. This is a reason why I hate Unity. Because ground checks just basically don't work. Ground check. We probably need a rigid body, let's be honest. No, rigid body should come from the other thing. Is trigger. Let me think here. I'm gonna go get my debug stuff. Let's see here. Plugins? No. Prefab setter, shades, tools, VR debug. Grab the VR debug. Guess we'll import the Text Mesh Pro. Event camera, main camera. We're gonna change this ground check. So it's not gonna be on collision enter, it's gonna be on collision stay. So if is grounded, how am I gonna do this? Is grounded is going to be depends on when this is called. Oh boy. That wasn't blue before, so maybe that's not the thing. I might have spelled it wrong. Okay, so now we got that. So this is basically just going to tell us what's going on. It'll give me this logging here. Down OpenXR. Okay, so why is this not being called? Let's try getting rid of the ground check offset. Wish someone could tell me how dumb I am right now in the chat. Let me check my control of this math here. Yeah, so the height, yeah, because we're adding the radius. So it's going to be Okay, well, I think this is going to need a little bit more planning out, so I think I'm going to call the stream here, and maybe by next time I will have this player movement all sorted out. And with that, I will say goodbye. See you guys next time.